On a quiet Saturday afternoon that felt as if history was whispering in our ears, President Donald Trump pulled an old wartime law from the archives, the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, to take on Venezuela's notorious gang, Tren de Aragua. This move, echoing conflicts from a distant past, has been set in motion with the aim of stamping out a dangerous force. Could a law born in another era really stand up to modern threats? This powerful statute, once reserved for the harsh days of war, now grants the president extra freedom to act. With it, he can speed up large-scale deportations and kick his strict immigration plans into high gear. The air buzzes with tension as this ancient law meets today's challenges, leaving us to wonder what surprising turn the story will take next. In a forceful statement, Trump singled out Tren de Aragua, accusing the gang of acting on orders from the Venezuelan government. This group, steeped in fear and rumor, has been tied to kidnappings, ransom schemes, organized crime, and even hit jobs. Each detail paints a raw picture of underground danger lurking at the borders. What could be the next shock in this unfolding drama? The president warned that members of the gang are not just criminals, they are waging a kind of guerrilla battle aimed at shaking the foundation of the United States. He claimed their erratic attacks are meant to disrupt and destabilize our nation. His words ring out like a battle cry, stirring up a mix of fear and anticipation. How deep does this thread really run? On the very same day, a federal judge in Washington stepped in to stop the deportation of 5 Venezuelan nationals, hinting at a brewing legal storm. This unexpected move in the courtroom sets the stage for a clash between old laws and modern rights. As legal minds prepare to spar, one has to ask, will the courts hold back the tide of executive power? Just minutes after Trump's announcement, the same judge was ready to consider a broader ban on deportations, adding fuel to the heated debate. The courtroom has become a stage for high-stakes decisions, and every moment seems charged with uncertainty. What new twist will this legal battle reveal? Earlier, a popular online news outlet first spotted Tren de Aragua making its way into America more than a year ago. But it wasn't until a dramatic video showed the gang storming an apartment near Denver last August that their name became known across the country. This sudden burst into the spotlight leaves us asking, how did they leap from obscurity to infamy overnight? This rare law, last seen when it was used to detain Japanese-American civilians during World War II, carries a weighty past. Before that, it was only used during World War I and the War of 1812. Its reappearance today brings with it echoes of times when the country was at war, raising questions about whether such a measure fits our modern world. Trump argued that using this old law is both needed and right because he believes Tren de Aragua has deep ties to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's regime. By linking the gang directly to a government, he draws a clear line between local crime and larger political games. Does this connection mark a turning point, or is it a dramatic stretch of the truth? Throughout his campaign, Trump often warned about the dangers of this gang, using it as proof of what he called a spike in migrant crime. His speeches were filled with stark warnings and dire predictions that now echo in his decision today. Is this the moment his words take on a life of their own? He also pointed out that, over the years, Venezuelan leaders at both national and local levels have slowly handed over control of their land to criminal groups like Tren de Aragua. This gradual loss of control paints a picture of a country in free fall, one where power slips away piece by piece. Can we see the signs of a larger collapse in this slow surrender? According to Trump, the end result is a strange mix, a criminal state that sneaks into the United States with the stealth of a predator. He described it as an invasion, a harmful incursion that poses a real danger to American citizens. The vivid language sparks a sense of alarm. How close can such a threat really get? Not everyone agrees with this old law's return. Civil rights groups and many Democrats have slammed the idea, saying it opens the door for mass deportations without proper checks. They warn that such a move will invite a barrage of legal challenges, turning the issue into a prolonged battle. Will the scales of justice tip in favor of caution, or is a new era of strict enforcement on the horizon? Back in February, the Trump team already took a hard line by naming Tren de Aragua, the Sinaloa Cartel, and 6 other criminal groups as global terror outfits. This step was part of a wider effort to tie these groups to international threats. With the new proclamation now in play, the government seems set to escalate its fight against crime. Is this the dawn of a new crackdown? Some experts say that, despite the heavy rhetoric, Tren de Aragua has not firmly planted its roots in the U.S. Their numbers here might be only in the low hundreds, a tiny fraction compared to the nearly 800,000 Venezuelans living in the country. This raises an intriguing question: is the danger being blown out of proportion, or is there more lurking beneath the surface? The Saturday order boldly claims that Tren de Aragua has been behind and continues to drive large-scale illegal migration into the United States, all to hurt American citizens. This assertion ties the gang's actions directly to national security issues, leaving many to wonder what hard proof supports such claims. Although the White House issued the proclamation on Saturday, clues in its wording suggest that Trump may have signed it on Friday. This small detail adds a secretive twist to the timing, as if the decision was quietly brewing before exploding into the public eye. What hidden motives might lie behind this careful timing? Under the new rule, every Venezuelan aged 14 or older who is found to be a member of the gang, if they are in the U.S. and not a naturalized or permanent resident, can be captured and sent away as an alien enemy. The measure is clear and forceful, leaving little room for debate. How will this sudden crackdown affect everyday lives and communities? The origins of Tren de Aragua trace back to a Venezuelan prison, and as millions fled a collapsing economy in search of a better life, the gang grew alongside the chaos. What began in dark cells soon became intertwined with the hopes and fears of a nation in crisis. Could their troubled past be a sign of things yet to come? In a move that deepened the divide, Trump and his supporters have turned the gang into the symbol of the dangers posed by illegal immigration. Last month, they even officially branded the group as a foreign terrorist organization. This label adds a dramatic twist, fueling heated debates. Are these actions driven by genuine security concerns or by political tactics? Across several countries, authorities report that arrests of Tren de Aragua members are on the rise, even as Venezuela's own government claims it has wiped the group out. The clash between these reports leaves us with a puzzling picture. Which side is telling the whole truth? During his presidential campaign, Trump promised to bring back the Alien Enemies Act, and many immigration groups were ready for the storm he foretold. His pledge was clear: no matter what, he would stand firm. But can promises made in heated rallies hold up when put to the test of real-life law and order? Before Trump's move became public, an unexpected lawsuit surfaced, a legal challenge filed by the ACLU and Democracy Forward on behalf of 5 Venezuelans now facing sudden deportation. This lawsuit, emerging in the early hours of the unfolding crisis, adds a new layer of tension. How will this early legal strike affect the overall battle? In response, Chief Judge James E. Boasberg of the D.C. Circuit quickly stepped in, placing a 14-day hold on the deportations of these 5 individuals. His swift decision was meant to keep things steady while the legal fight gathers steam. Could this brief pause be the calm before a legal storm? Judge Boasberg explained that his order was meant simply to keep things as they are. He stressed that he couldn't wait any longer to act, noting that a short delay in removing these people would not harm the government. His words carry a clear message, urging everyone to pause and think, what comes next in this high-stakes struggle? Only hours later, the Trump administration rushed to appeal the restraining order. They argued that stopping a presidential action before it is fully announced would seriously damage the executive branch. This clash between branches of government creates a tense atmosphere. Will one side ultimately overpower the other? The administration warned that if the judge's order holds, courts might soon be able to block almost any urgent national security move based on a single complaint. They warned that this could even affect actions like drone strikes, covert intelligence missions, or the capture and extradition of suspected terrorists. They urged that this dangerous path must be stopped before it takes root. Is this a warning that could change the balance of power forever? This surge in legal challenges highlights just how controversial the revived law is. Critics argue that it could give Trump the power to deport people illegally in the country, bypassing many of the usual safeguards in criminal and immigration law. With such vast authority at stake, the fight over its limits grows ever more critical. Adding another twist, the White House is now preparing to transfer around 300 people it claims are gang members to detention centers in El Salvador. This planned move shows that the government is ready to act fast and hard. What impact will this mass transfer have on lives and communities caught in the middle? Trump's return to the White House on January 20th came with a loud promise to deport millions of illegal immigrants. Yet, in practice, his initial efforts have lagged behind those of his predecessor, Joe Biden, who quickly sent many recent border crossers back home. The stark difference in results raises a pressing question: why have the numbers turned out so differently? To tighten border control, Trump has taken a number of steps, sending extra troops to the U.S.-Mexico border and reassigning federal agents to hunt down those who break immigration rules. Still, his plans have been slowed by crowded immigration courts and a lack of detention space. With obstacles at every turn, the story of this hardline approach is far from over. What will be the next chapter in this unfolding saga?